Guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Jay, and I thought it would be fun to play with another Crafty Stamp Co. stamp set. This one's been out for a couple years. It is Happy Gobbler Day, and these are the um, main four images that come in it. I thought they'd be really good for this month's sheet load of cards, so I thought that we could do that. I do like all of these for this. I think I'm going to go with the pumpkin guy to start with. I'll put the rest of these to the side. And are still some of him available in the shop. So if you're interested, there will be a link down below. I sort of downsized the main sort of area that the sentiment will go on, so that it would better fit him. This is about a 2 1/4 circle. So we have that. Then we have a bunch of strips. And I didn't have on hand any Crafty Stamp Co. paper, so I thought it would be fun to make my own. So if you have the either the Autumn Breeze, which is still available, which is kind of a nice softer take on autumn, it's very orange and blue. Feel free to use that. And the November Crafty Crew Kit also came with some cool paper. Anyway, so I didn't have that, so I basically sprayed two of these with um the orange color of the new Distress Spritz, and they're very sparkly in real life. And then the red ones are with Rusty Hinge. Something marmalade are those. Hopefully, editing me will remember. And then because I had gone ahead and used green in the hat, I decided to use green as sort of our layering piece. So we have sort of this red, orange, and green thing going on. And the way this uh, particular card background lays out, you're basically just making triangles, and I need one piece of my brown, which will go here. And you can either I forget if the original sketch inverts these or not, where we're going like red, orange, brown, or if it's doing the same thing. But you can decide how you like these. There is a template. I will shoot a link in the video description to the sheet load of cards if you want to get the PDFs. But usually, what I do is I just kind of play around with the spacing of the triangles. But this is also an inexact process, so I kind of like it like this. So I think this is how we're going to glue it down. And then when we're done, we're going to trim this all down to a panel and then complete the card essentially. So let us do that. I really love this cute little turkey though, because he just makes me happy, and he was a lot of fun to color. The actual stamp doesn't have any colors for the feathers, so it's a really good opportunity if you want to. Well, I guess I can bring that closer to the camera so you can see him in a little more detail. There we go. So it's a really good opportunity if you want to practice blending and things of that nature. And because I use sprays to make this, I'm definitely using wet glue to glue this down. But you can do whichever you would like. I also embossed this panel with sort of this nice wood grain. So it should give you, using wet glue to account for that is also helpful. So this is actually my second sheet load of this one this month because I just really liked it. So I'm basically looking at my spacing and trying to keep it fairly even. And in the sheet load printable, there's actually a like a schematic that you can use to kind of work on this. I'm not really worried about the edges as much because eventually I'm going to just cut them off. So, whoops. And the other thing I did here is I don't love how some of these mica sprays have a tendency to kind of come off on your hands. So I did spray this with a fixative when I was done. Luckily, it was a very nice day out here in southern Wisconsin when I was making this paper, so it was pretty straightforward. And you may want to put a weight down on some of this. I'm using Lineco PVA, which grips really fast. So I am not doing that, but what you can do if you want more assurance that everything's going to stay together long term is you can absolutely do that as well. I'm just going to just sort of squeegee out the glue. And this is basically what our background is going to look like. So what I'm going to do is grab my trimmer and just cut off these excess parts of the strips. Some of these aren't entirely down, but I think that'll be okay. We'll have to take a look at it after we let it dry a little bit more. And what I do is I just get the green panel up to the edge of my trimmer where I can really kind of feel that where I can really feel the edge of the guard, and then I just cut this because I think that makes this and also make sure your trimmer's all the way open. Sometimes I'll forget to do that, but and it looks really pretty cool once you cut off the excess little bits. You could save these for something. I probably won't, but I know people who save them to use essentially as like either as shaker bits or confetti, depending. So that is our background. It has some really nice sparkle in real life. So the next thing I'm going to do is get that down onto sort of our matting layer. And this I'm going to use glue for this whole card because in addition to the sprayed pieces, this is also, I also embossed this. And I like the glue too because it always gives you a little more um, assurance that you can get things more or less straight. I don't think with these kind of fun backgrounds, it's going to necessarily matter as much, but you know. And then I'm going to put this on cream, and I really like sort of the contrast of the cream and all this rich color. And conveniently, the sheet load itself makes 4 cards, and this is a really good scrap buster amongst other things you could do with it. You can use 6x6 paper as well, but um, these don't all necessarily have to match in this way. It looks very aesthetic when you do it that way, but and let's see. Oh, I think this is going to work out really well because the turkey is a lot more vibrant than everything else, so he really pulls focus. So I think that's cool. I don't think I need to pop it up. You certainly could if you want more dimension on any of this stuff. And I did pre-color as I usually do for these videos, just so they're not like super long. But if you're interested in the coloring info, feel free to leave a note down below, and we can talk about that. We could also do a full coloring live too, if you're. But to me, the assembly and putting together of the card is really the cool part. The But I do like coloring my own stamps just because it means that like your creation is going to be uniquely yours, which is pretty neat. So I really like how this all came together, especially how like this red and this red look pretty similar, at least in hue. So this is a done card. I would be very happy to get this. I didn't really put a sentiment on this. You can use the circle as in the original with a sentiment, but I figure you can just put something on the inside if you would like. Also, the stamp set comes with a little sign that you can put words on, so you can also have your turkey holding something, which would be kind of a fun thing. But anyway, thanks for checking this out. Until I talk to you again, I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye bye.